The person who did the handwriting assessment said that her writing is so similar to Kurt's that it was very difficult to determine who wrote the bottom four lines of the suicide note. Now, what I want to understand, and I know you and I have looked at this, so
Mhm.
I said to him, "Is that normal?" And he said, "Absolutely not. No
Yeah.
one's handwriting matches their spouse. In his entire career, he's never seen that before." Now, when we look at Courtney's handwriting, and you and I put this into a custom AI program, we put in her
hmm
old handwriting. Now, that handwriting does not match Kurt's in any
No,
way, shape,
this
or form.
is and this because this is her pre ever knowing that Kurt existed
Right,
handwriting.
exactly. So
And
that's her. Yeah.
yeah, you can literally see if you pay attention and you look through her journals and all of the released and published handwriting samples of hers, you can like almost watch it change from like when she was a teenager, young adult to when she meets Kurt, and all of a sudden it starts looking a little different.
Yeah, so that's and we are working on a report showing how the handwriting has changed.
Mm,
That was not something that we had paid the handwriting uh, assessment for, so we're not going to pay
yeah,
him to now go through and study Courtney's handwriting from when she was a child to when she allegedly took Kurt's life. But that's something that we can do with software and that we are looking at doing because it's really
yeah,
interesting. And again, if you look at just like other husbands and wives, Yoko Ono's writing does not look like John Lennon's. Like this is just
yeah.
not a thing
Mine
that
doesn't look
happens.
anything like my husband's. I
No,
mean,
exactly
our
right. It's very bizarre.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's because I
So
want to say what the handwriting analyst said specifically was that she simulates his handwriting
yep.
really well,
Yes, exactly.
or very convincingly, or something along those lines.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
And when we put the phrasing, so the interesting thing, I think, sorry, this is turning into something else, but it does kind of go along with the journal. So we have a custom AI and we uploaded every
Mhm.
single known writing of Kurt Cobain's into that AI. And the good thing about AI is that it isn't biased. So it
Mhm.
knows how Kurt talks. It knows how Kurt writes. Kurt does not write. Not on his foolingest day would Kurt beg someone, "I love you, I love you."
Please.
Not on his worst fucking day would he put Courtney above Francis. Would he speak to Courtney before Francis? He would not do that. So when we put it through this AI, it's going like, okay, we're not just talking about like writing and pen pressure. We're talking about what did Kurt talk like? What did he write
Mhm.
like? We have love letters from Kurt to Toby. We have, all of these things show who Kurt was as a person, and he has never spoken like that in his life. And
No,
that,
it's
you
called, I wanna
know,
say it's called, like, forensic linguistics or something like that.
yes, you're exactly right.
But
Yep.
the yeah,
It
because I mean,
just
every single person has, like, a signature, like, a specific way that they phrase things, that they
Yeah,
talk, things that they are and aren't likely to say.
exactly.
Um, and after all of, because I mean, it was what, like 400 some pages that we fed into the AI
Yeah.
of his writings,
Yes.
and it does not even remotely match anything he's ever written.
No, never.
Um, like not
And
even close.
then we feed in Courtney's, and you look at that particular journal entry, and I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. And if not, let us know in the comments and we'll add it. She literally writes almost that exact phrasing in her journal and then posts it all for us to see. And
Yep.
like we said, I don't know what year her journals were released, but she's like, haha, I got away with it. It's like it's like a serial killer calling up the cops and having a good laugh. It's like Zodiac sending letters to the police. Yeah, you're not going to catch me because I already got away with it. So,
Yep. Or
um,
BTK.
exactly. Yes. I love how with BTK, he said, "I'm going to send you a disc." And he's like, "You
Because
can't,
you
you
can't
can't trace
trace me through
this."
that. And they're like, oh no, we can't. And like he actually believed that. And how stupid can you be?
It's so beautiful and so perfect. It
It
warms my
really is.
heart, really.
Same. Same.
Okay, so she wants to kill her mom. Okay, what does this one
Okay.
say?
So this is called Kill Mom. I shot my mom at the breakfast table over crumpets and tea. I shot my mom at the breakfast table. She tried to castrate me. I sliced my daddy into little chunks and threw them into the sea. I cut my daddy into bite sized chunks. He tried to castrate me. I took a shotgun to school just to see what teacher would do. She got scared, so I shot her in the head. The principal interfered, so I shot her with lead. Oh,
Beautiful. What a beautiful poem.
mm,
She's a.
yeah.
What kind of poetry were you writing at 14? I was like, well, it was
I
probably
was
about New Kids on the Block, first of all. I was probably writing them a love poem.
I
Like,
had one that was like, it was all in vain. It was like it was some tragic like I'd ever had my heart broken before, but like,
hmm
that's the type of poetry I was writing at 14.
yeah. And I can't tell if she's just trying to be punk rock and trying to like copy that type of, thing, or if she genuinely, if
I
she's
don't know.
genuinely just a little psychopath.
I think she's genuinely just a little psychopath.
Okay.
I'm gonna read. So this next one's a little. It's several pages, um, but it's a letter to her dad. The one that she claims she never knew.
Oh, Hank. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay, right. I see what you mean. Right. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, right. After he called
um,
her a murderer, she said she never knew him. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. But I think this is very telling. I think there's a lot of value in it. Otherwise, I wouldn't waste everybody's time. But there's pictures of the envelope that it was in. Um, but It says, to my dad, a letter from Courtney dated September 4th, 1979, to her father, Hank Harrison, when she was still in reform school in Oregon. Um, so, interestingly enough, the top of this actually says 9/11/79. Anyway, dear Daddy, I want you to know this is not my handwriting. I'm sitting in a bathtub dictating this, just to show you how luxurious I can be in reform school. Well, thank you for your letter. It really blew my mind, and I got rather hysterical about it. Well, you asked in your letter how I got here. I should tell you I've been on my way here all my life. When I was 8 years old, Mama Dear ran off to New Zealand with her new hubby and left her uncontrollable, crazy child in the hands of her best friend, Delnon DeMarco. I stayed there for 6 months, and then Delnon got a little sick of me and shipped me off to New Zealand with my mother. I went crazy, schizophrenic, and started thinking about committing suicide at 8 years old. I was miserable beyond words. So mother shipped me off and I went to live with Frank. That lasted about a year. He's impeccable while I'm a slob. We were incompatible, so Frank shipped me back to New Zealand, where I went to boarding school, where I got kicked out the first term for getting the preppies drunk out of their minds. So my mother decided to send me back to America with an old friend of the family, Richard Farr. I think you missed him. Anyway, he's the shrink that broke up my mom and Frank because she went to bed with him. I lived there with Richard for 3 months and took off because everybody in town wanted to kick my ass, and Richard is a motherfucker. So then I went to JDH, Juvenile Detention Hall / home. From JDH, I went to the Children's Farm Home, back to JDH, back to the farm home, back to JDH, and Judge Wiley said Hillcrest. So I was up here 9 months. It's not that bad of a place. There's no gangbangs, heavy drug traffic, aggressive dykes, or brutal stuff. I can do anything I want except bop someone over the head and take off. I can smoke, go to school. There's even boys here. Not bad for a penal institution. Get group therapy sessions every night. Anyway, from here, I went to a Petty Grove, a group home, took off, came back, went to a foster home, didn't like it, came back, went to another foster home that was 2 houses away from my mother, took off, and here I am. That's how all this came to be. Now I'll tell you about the outcome of everything. Linda and Frank had 2 little baby girls, Nicole and Jamie. They're about 12 and 9 now. My mother is getting her MA and becoming a counselor for parents of abused children. Frank is doing fine. I just called him tonight. I call him dad too. He's a teacher. Me, well, I suppose I'm okay. I dyed my hair about a million different colors, and it's red for right now. It's gross. I'm not dumb either. I've read in my files that I am the most shrewd, cunning, devious person my case mother has ever seen. I have college
Yeah.
freshman level spelling, reading, and literature, and 10th grade math on my test scores. I write poems all the time, and it must be in our genes. I'll send you some when I get my stuff. I'll also send you my picture. I'm 5'8", skinny, not tits, no zits. I'm out of the bathtub now. That girl can't spell. But anyway, when I get my stuff, But anyway, when my stuff gets here, I'll send you a picture of me. I've been told I should be a model, so I didn't turn out ugly. Sorry.
Okay.
You can come see me when I get it fixed with my parole officer. That will be in a month about. I'll be here till March 28th, 1980. Then I'm terminated because all I did was rip off a shirt and write aerosol kid on a wall. That's 2 years and I can't come back because I'm not on parole. My basic ambitions in life are this. My mom says if I stay in Eugene a year, she'll send me to any school I want. I'm going to be an actress. I'll go to Juilliard
Mm.
School in New York or some stage children's school in Hollywood. The Reese money has almost run out, but she'll spare it to my school. After that, I'll hit Hollywood. If I don't make it, I'll go to UCLA and be either a satirist in National Lampoon, haha, or fashion buyer for Saks Fifth Avenue or El Magnin. I don't know what that is. Sorry. My basic goal is to become rich. I'm going to buy a nice red Porsche when I get out. I'll never get married and get sucked into the San Jose suburban rut. I'm going to be rich, productive, healthy, wealthy, and wise, and all that jazz. Oh, well, let's see. What else? I love to read. I love burgundy and green, Benedictine, getting high, just pot, which is literally practically legal in this state anyway. Go to the beach, be alone and write. Go to parties, go first class, learn, explore, eat. I'm fasting now, trying my best to come down with a case of anorexia nervosa. Watching TV, great. Going to the theater. My favorite book is William Graham's Lord of the Flies. My favorite movie is a no class one, The Warriors, because I'm in love with the lead man and will search Hollywood to find him. Unrealistic, yes. Impossible, never. And because it affected me so much, I went out and knifed a girl because I didn't like her looks. I'm not prone to violence. I'm not a delinquent or a punk. I have had culture and I defend it. When they say Van Halen or Kiss, I say Beethoven, and it's funny. If someone called me a stuck up bitch, I'll kick her ass because it's true, but I'm a great actress and usually my talking scares them off. Just grab my leather coat and stiletto knife and I'm shielded from the world. Miss Big Bad Cool Hot Stuff and people believe it. I haven't been a scapegoat since I was 12 and I never will be again. I'm different and no one will put me down for it because I scare them off. I'm popular, but I don't choose to play Miss Prom Queen. I've had two quote unquote best friends. My best friends go with me everywhere and stick with me for life. One I can relate to, one I can't. Their names are Brandy and Tara, and you might see them too when I get out sometime. They're like a shield from the world too. Brandy is a beautiful loner, and Tara's a beautiful feline. I've got these two gorgeous friends. I always have gorgeous friends. I don't ask me why. I'm not gorgeous myself, just pretty in a nice, balanced way. I look more like my mom than you, but I got a bit of your nose and your eyes. My hair, naturally, is a real light golden brown. What else about me? Well, my soft spots. I'm really paranoid about what people whispering about me. I have gotten in more fights about that than anything, I think. Next, I have an oral fixation. I have to always be desiring oral stimulation. I smoke, bite my nails, talk incessantly about nothing, chew gum, eat, inhale like crazy. Lucky me, my metabolism's been nice so far. I don't like guys and they don't like me. I'm not an easy piece of ass, and a lot of people seem to think I'm a real challenge to get in the back of their 67 Chevy or take home to their waterbed. I don't trust men sexually. I doubt I ever will. From Frank, who I call dad, to Richard Farr, who I swear is bi. Maybe I am too. I seem to be real happy with girls, but when a guy gets it on, but when a guy gets in on it, I get nervous. So what? I'm okay. You're okay, but the world's fucked. I'm a cynic and sarcastic with a tongue made of acid, but I'm spilling my guts to you, my quote unquote daddy, my father. Shit, what a shock treatment. I cuss some, but I can act like a dirty punk to Princess Grace when it comes to etiquette and stuff. Now, this is my worst fear that I hate most spiders. I hate looking at the world. They are my worst enemy, like Samson's hair or Achilles' heel. Spiders are my super fear spot on any otherwise seemingly fear-proof veneer. The way this is written is awful.
That's
Sorry.
wild. Can I just
Um,
say that the day that I ever talk to my father about my tits will be the day that you fucking put me in a grave?
uh,
Rest in peace, Dad. But like, what is she even
literally,
talking about?
I genuinely don't know. I would never send a letter like this to either one of my parents, but
It's
yeah,
wild.
yeah. Um, The worst thing anyone ever did to me in my life was to dangle one of those cute, horrid, disgusting, terrifying things in front of my face. I scream and won't stop shaking for hours. It's like spiders release my body from itself. They unleash my id, and I go nuts. It's weird. Do you have a girlfriend? Do you get high? Are you scared by this? Our situation? I am. Do you like me? Are you disappointed that I am what I am? I rather like you from your letter. You fit into my fantasy, Daddy, and you don't shatter my disillusion. Hey, in about a month we can maybe take me for about a week after you visit. I have to get that fixed up with my parole officer. My life's been untruded, but it's a good untrusion, a happy one that doesn't shatter any illusions and throw me into a depression. Life goes on, Daddy, and I love your Jaguar. Why did you and my mom get together? If you liked my mom, you'll like me, but I'm more physically and mentally alkaline and sharp. Mother is rounder, a bit dumber, just a bit, and mellower. We're both pretty catty and love to gossip, receptive and material minded. She's not anymore, all that therapy paid off. Will you please send me a carton or two of cigarettes? Cool, super long. They're like money up here, and Frank won't because he thinks it's gross. And my mother says no way, and I feel really embarrassed because my flower child mother, who pulls her tit out in front of all the parents visiting to feed her newest edition, since you've been away, there's been Jamie, Nicole, Joshua, Toby, Elkie, Hetty, and Daniel. And then she won't get me a carton. She buys me a pack and claims for me to make it last a week. Ha! She borrowed cigarettes from me when I lived 2 houses away from her. Irony. What a pain in the ass. Anyway, I must go. Keep on living. Love, your daughter, Courtney, Michelle, Harrison, Rodriguez, Mentally.
I mean, where to begin? How old was she when she wrote that?
So it was in 79.
Yeah, so she
Um,
was
so
64. So
60,
that's
so she was 15.
15. Boy, she sure loves pulling out the big words to try to prove
Mm,
to people she's real smart, you know?
yeah.
Um, and I'm not saying she isn't smart. I think she is intelligent,
Yeah.
like a good cult leader. But that is the amount she's trying to impress her dad is just like,
Yeah.
wow.
Um, well, and it's also like I don't know, it's almost like she's trying too hard.
Oh,
Um,
totally is. Yeah.
and I, I don't really, because it's like, that's your dad. Like, why not just be yourself?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
She
and I
has
know
no
some people are
self.
gonna be like, well, look at the way, well, yeah,
I honestly
herself
think
is
she has no self.
bits
You
and
know, there's,
pieces.
yeah, exactly, of other people.
It's, yeah. Um, but it's just I don't it's so wild to me that like I can't even the knife in a girl talking about sex talking like just
Do you think that's true? That she knifed a
oh
girl?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hank talked at length about all of her episodes of violence and her
Mm-hmm.
bragging
Mm-hmm.
about stabbing people and punching people and beating people up and um she's got a long history of that from and I mean not just from what Hank says but like
Yeah.
if you look at her actual record and the things that she's done, the things that have been documented.
I'd like to know who stuck up to her. You know, like you and I have talked about this in the past, and it's like, and somebody in our on our messages, or sorry, in our comments said, you know, oh, I'm great friends with her. She's a beautiful soul, and I know Callie, and he's the kindest person you'd ever meet.
Mm-hmm.
And then he talks about the trouble she's had with other people. And I think I wrote something back like, you know, her bullying days are done, dude. Like there are so many of us that she can't you're not getting away with this shit anymore. You have no money,
No.
you have no clout anymore. No one cares about you. You're
Oh,
literally a joke, you know?
speaking of money, sorry, that reminded me. The piece of this that I found the most interesting is that she tried so hard to portray herself the whole time she was with Kurt. Like she was this punk rock princess. She was Nancy Spungen. She
Oh,
doesn't give
grew
a
up
shit
poor.
about fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't care. All of this was she wanted to be rich. Money, 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 money. That's all she cared
Yep.
about.
Totally.
She
Absolutely.
wanted to be a famous, glamorous actress.
Yes, exactly. And after Kurt died, isn't that just what she
That's
did? She turned
exactly
her
what she
whole
did.
bullshit around. She took a shower, you know, she made it look like
Mhm.
she was now this like, you know, slightly edgy, but like very glamorous actress. Somebody who is a behavioral specialist had written this to us before talking about Courtney. I wanted to just give you a couple of things here that they said. I'll keep it
Yeah.
super brief. Um, Courtney's behavior in these documents matches traits found in narcissistic abuse, gaslighting, self-centered delusions, emotional coercion, covert aggression, smearing others while claiming to be the victim, and
Mhm.
isolation tactics, driving wedges between her target, which would be Kurt or Francis, and anyone who might offer them clarity or support. So, again, talking about cult leaders.
Mhm.
She's not someone who's struggling. She is someone who uses chaos as control. And you can see it as far back as this, and I'm sure earlier writing. But again,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, and the gaslighting, is she gaslighting herself too? Like, is she believing the stuff she's saying to Hank?
Um, I think yes and no. I think some of it, yes.
Yeah.
But I think other bits of it she knows is fabrications and exaggerations
Yeah.
to get her point across.
Yeah. And
Um,
and what is that, fake it till you make it, you know? I
yeah.
mean, doesn't Dean
Well,
say that in Supernatural? It's very like, I mean, I know it's a famous old quote, but
yeah, but yeah.
yeah, and I guess she'll just she just my dog just got home. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
hey, sweet girl.
hi, pumpkin pie.
No.
But
But yeah, I mean, even in what Kurt and Courtney, Roz, her ex Roz,
yes, yeah.
where he talks about, like she made this whole list of all these crazy things, like befriend Michael Stipe and blah blah, blah, and
Yes.
she goes out and freaking does it.
Like what did she say? Improbable, but not impossible in the letter.
Yep,
And she's
impossible,
15.
never. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. She's 15 talking about, doing all these things. And let's hand it to her. She did them.
she did. I
I don't
just
know how
wish
many
she had
people
done them
she killed to.
honestly.
No, exactly. I don't know how many
Yeah.
people she killed to do it, but
Well, see, and
I'm
like,
alleging at least two, but
yeah. Here's the thing, and I may regret saying this, but I have always felt that if she was just a decent person,
yeah,
if she was not at least a complete pathological liar, if she wasn't a potential, life taker and a bully and a pretend feminist, and like if she was a decent person,
yeah,
I would actually really like her.
yeah, totally. I know.
Like
She's,
if she was genuinely a feminist, if she actually,
yeah,
tried and put forth something positive in the world,
yeah,
treated people at least not horrifically
yeah.
constantly, um, I would think she was pretty badass and I would like her.
I know.
It
Like she is
uh
funny,
yeah,
like what
yeah.
did she say to Stephanie Seymour like when at the MTV Awards? I know I've quoted this before, but she said Stephanie Seymour, is that who that was? Said to her something like, "Oh, are you a model?" She was there with Axl Rose, right?
Yeah,
And
yes.
Courtney Love's like, "No, are you a brain surgeon or something?" And it was like really fucking funny.
Yes, I remember
And then
that.
I think she actually had been talking to Stephanie's son when he died of a drug overdose years and years later. So of course she was giving drugs to minors, Of course she was
Of course. That was her
somehow
whole thing.
of course she was somehow involved in that,
Mhm.
which is like such a bizarre turn of events. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean,
like the person she
just that we
pretended
know
to
of.
be was actually cool, So you can
Yeah.
see where Kurt was like, oh, like this person, like, oh, she's a feminist. She's been really hurt and screwed by the
Mhm.
system, and
Yep.
she just wants to like express herself, but no one will let her, and all of these things, and that she has this really good heart. Yes, she has this shield up because she's needed to because of the way life has treated her, but she has a really good heart,
I
and
can
it's
totally
like,
see why he fell in love with the illusion that she gave him.
me too. Yeah,
Um, what breaks my heart is the way it must have felt for him when he realized that all it was an illusion.
yeah, yeah. I,
Um,
and
because
and a very conscious illusion, like one that we know, again, that she studied Kurt and who he was before she got together with him,
yep.
really meant to do this. And we've talked about this before, but she could have stayed with Billy. She still would have
Hmm.
been super famous. She didn't need to marry Kurt. And what is the thing about using him for his beautiful genes? And
Oh yeah, because the two best noses in rock were Kurt and Axel, and
nose job, dude. And
literally.
beautiful Frances
She
didn't
did that
even,
anyway. So did Frances.
yes, exactly. Frances didn't even get Kurt's nose. So come on,
Yeah.
like, this is ridiculous. But she could have easily stayed with Billy. I mean, I said this before too. I think she would have made a better couple with Dave. They both were very upwardly mobile in that they didn't have any scruples in the sense that I think Kurt did, where Kurt is very like, listen, I just want to make music. Dave
Yeah.
wanted to be a rock star, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not that that's not a judgment. That's just like he wanted to be a
No.
rock star, she wanted to be a rock star, more power to you, right? Like you
I
guys go
think
and do that together, but Kurt
I think
didn't.
knowing everything that we know now, Dave may want to punch you for saying that, but I do see what you mean, and I don't
And you
disagree.
know, and that's the thing too. I know that Dave has had the balls to at least write songs about her and what she's done. So I but you know, allegedly they used to talk on the phone and all the time, right?
That
And
was how
they
she
got
worked her
along.
way into Kurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you
Because she
know,
would call and talk to Dave and then ask how Kurt was doing. And be like, "Oh, he's right here, here, blah, blah, blah." And then she'd wind up on the phone with Kurt for 2 hours. She gave the heart-shaped box to Dave to give to Kurt.
now is that a true story? Do we know?
Supposedly. Is anything she says true?
That's the thing. We don't know. I mean, we really don't know. And I've heard a lot of people, you know, there used to be that great Tumblr, the Exposing Courtney Love Tumblr, where they talk about
Mm,
the stuff. Everything she said was a lie. She
mm.
has like 6 different stories about how she met Kurt. Every
Oh,
one of
yeah.
them is different and every one of them is a lie. Like we don't even
Yeah.
know how she really met Kurt, you know?
No.
And
Because Kurt, I don't think even really remembered.
no, and because she went to like shows, was trying to kind of get him before, and it sounds to me like he was avoiding her like the hideous plague that she was, you
He
know?
stood her up and blew her off in the beginning. He
So
point
nice.
blank said that he didn't want anything to do with her in the beginning.
And then she changed her game, and then she found out more. I mean, I'm sure she asked Dave tons of things about who Kurt was, what did he like, all of those
And probably
things.
in sneaky roundabout ways so that Kurt
Oh
or
yeah.
that Dave didn't even realize that that's necessarily what she was doing.
Yeah, exactly. Um, okay, so the TLDR, we'll probably split this into two, so you're probably watching this on the second part of this. But the TLDR is that Montage of Heck is absolute bullshit, and everything
We
that is
call it
in that,
montage of bullshit.
exactly, and everything in that is to continue to support a narrative, like all the scenes that she showed of Kurt nodding out while he had Francis. All of those things were only to that does not show Kurt for who he is, and he
No.
is not here to speak to it, and it's completely disgusting. And the again, you know, he did not that story about the girl and the railroad tracks is just what I just said. It's a story, and so that's you know
Yeah.
we'll post the evidence as to
Well,
you
and
know showing that.
it's literally pulling some of his worst moments in his life and playing them with no
Yeah, yeah,
context,
yeah,
so that they look even worse than what they actually are, um, and then misrepresenting his attempts at short fiction
yeah,
as autobiographical
yeah,
tales of suicidal ideation and attempts as a teenager.
yeah, exactly. Thank God no one has any of my teenage journals.
Oh, I
I
should
dread
probably
the
burn the
thoughts.
ones I still have.
Babe, you probably should. Not because they wouldn't be fun to read. I mean, even for yourself, but I just
Oh,
mean
they're hilarious to read, but
you don't
uh,
want those falling into the wrong hands.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll leave it here. If you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, like, comment, interact with the video in some way. We always love talking to everyone out there. And
Absolutely.
if you want to share anything, share your thoughts about Courtney's journals, Kurt's journals, montage, any of it, please go ahead and do so. And our invitation to Chris Novoselic is out there. We would love to hear why you supported Montage of Heck. And we'd love to have you on, Chris. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Come
okay.
tell your side of the story.
We love it. Yeah. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.